This is incredible. You don't get this in London.
No.
Have you ever dreamed of starting a new life, of turning your back on city living,
Goodbye, London.
giving up everything,
I can see Wales.
and making a brand new life in the country?
Yeah, baby.
For some, the lure of this landscape can be life-changing.
In this series, I'll be meeting the people who've bravely chosen to leave their city lives
Today we actually get our brewery. Feeling a bit sick now.
and follow their dreams by moving to the great British countryside and starting their own business.
It'll be a test on the marriage, won't it? Could be over in a year.
If we can pass this test.
I'll be experiencing their new lives right alongside them.
This is the bit I've always wanted to do.
I'm worried now that you're going to take one look at these and you're going to sack me.
Seeing up close the challenges and risks they face,
Nothing's perfect, and we have to just make it work. If you're not committed to this business, then you shouldn't be here.
This is all I earned today, after all I did.
I'm sorry if I'm stressed. I just have to,
The last 24 hours have been the toughest.
You are very messy.
I'm now genuinely struggling to work out how you have enough time to do everything.
but I'll also be discovering the huge rewards.
I don't really mind how stressed I get with something like this because it's ours. And that is a massive difference.
Of making a new life
Look at that view. Look at this place as well.
in the country.
You have the dream.
This week, I'm off to meet a woman who gave up her life as a nanny in the city to buy a petting farm as far away as she could possibly get, John O'Groat, the most northerly place in Great Britain. With no experience of working with animals, no savings, and no idea how to live in a wild, remote location, she has made this her home.
43-year-old Cara
Okay.
is packing up her London house and about to make the biggest move of her life. The pace of the city has become too much.
The London drivers and road rage. You know, you start off at the beginning of the week calm, by the end of the week you're like, ah!
Despite living in the city all her life, Cara has a secret ambition.
It's always been a little dream to have a farm. I've always loved animals. Donkeys are my favourite animal, and you know, whenever there's an animal, with the children I looked after, I always would go to the petting zoo and always to see the animals. It was always my favourite thing.
But on a nanny's salary, owning a farm seemed like a pipe dream. Then, 6 weeks ago, her sister spotted an advert.
My sister sends me a little message saying, donkeys, ? Scotland, ? And there was this link to this farm that was for sale there. My sister said, look at the price, there must be a catch. And I'm like, I think the catch is it's just John O'Groat's. It's so far away.
It is, in fact, as far away as she could get in Britain. But 6 weeks later, Cara is packing up to follow her dream to one of the remotest parts of the UK. 700 miles from London, with a population of only 300, John O'Groats is a world away from the busy life she's used to. Cara has no experience of farming, business, or keeping animals, and has only visited Scotland once before to view the farm. Her new home is a 2-acre farm with a 4-bedroom farmhouse. The business is a going concern, which includes a petting zoo with 50 animals and a farm shop which sells local produce.
I'm moving from London to become a farmer. In John O'Groats, the furthest you can go.
It's a very risky move for someone with so little experience of the farming world. Cara managed to get a private loan of £220,000, which covers the £210,000 price of the farm and leaves her £10,000 for moving and setting up. With no savings, the farm is her only source of income. It's moving day.
Obviously, it's life-changing. I'm moving so far away. And I think if you did stop, it would be completely overwhelming, and I'd probably just freeze on the spot and be like, I don't know what to do. You do have that moment where you think, what if I'm wrong? What if this is not my dream? What if I'm just not going to like it? That's a big thing to do. What if you don't like it? My little house. Goodbye, London.
Cara is travelling almost 700 miles to one of the remotest parts of the UK.
Johnny Groats, there's the sign. And the start of my life. A little bit of a wet welcome. But I think I have to kind of get used to this. There's my farm just there. Key to my house. Wow. Amazing. This is going to be my bedroom. It's definitely got the best view. You can see the sea there.
Cara's 2 acres of land include a polytunnel and 4 vegetable plots, and a petting farm with goats, geese, rabbits, chickens, donkeys, and pigs. She'll be caring for over 50 animals in total. With so much to do, there's no time to waste. And having just bought a house in one of the most northerly and bleakest parts of Britain, with no central heating, Cara's first task is to light the fire.
It's a good start. At least there's flames. I think it's okay that it's smoking. I have to just wait for it to turn into fire. Not sure what's going on now. Not exactly a roaring fire, is it? I am feeling very overwhelmed. Doesn't feel 100% like mine, but also it does feel like mine. And I think that's why it feels a bit overwhelming. I'm like, there's a lot to do, a lot to think about.
It's Cara's first morning. She's only met the animals once before with the previous owners when she came to view the property. But today, she's all on her own.
Morning, morning, Bo.
As a nanny, Cara was used to wrangling hungry children in the morning.
Morning.
But a 200-pound boar is very different. It's not easy.
Not quite sure how I'm going to give him his water. I can't open the door. I need to get your water. Well, I can't really go in there when he wants to get out because he's also quite big and strong. Hey. All right, we might come back to him. Hi, Tom.
Local farmhand Tom has been looking after the animals since the previous owners left.
Nice to meet you, finally.
He's come to meet Cara and offer some support.
Met the animals,
Not been bitten yet?
Not been bitten, but I wanted to give some water to Mr. Bingley, but he was like getting a bit overexcited.
Mr. Bingley.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a problem with Mr. Bingley.
Yeah.
So as long as he's got food,
Yeah.
that's the distraction.
It's all very different to doing the school run. With everyone fed, she gets stuck in with the mucking out.
This is Jack. He's the male donkey. He's a smaller donkey than Jenny. And they're probably looking for some hay, which I've got, but I'm just going to clean out the poop first. Donkeys poo 16 times a day, apparently.
It's literally amazing how you can just make that decision and just breathe in and do this.
Next on the list, making up the veg boxes. The previous owners did home vegetable box delivery, which Cara has inherited.
That's a nice looking fennel.
Much of the veg is grown on the farm.
Stonker!
The rest is sourced from local suppliers.
That's it. My first veg box Patates, collie, onions, carrots, leek, neeps, broccoli, fennel. Super.
All that's left now is to deliver them to 20 houses on 20 streets she's never been to before. It takes Cara 4 hours, making her £200, of which £100 is profit.
15, was it?
But she only delivers the boxes once a week. Another source of income is the farm shop, with an honesty box. And she's eager to see what has sold.
Yeah, it doesn't look like any fruit and veg has gone, I don't think, today. Like, I can see a fruit cake and a lemon drizzle cake has gone, so that's £5. Woo!
It's been a week since Cara left London.
This is the money from the farm shop for the past week. 5, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. So it's about £52, £53. It's a lot less than I was hoping for.
The farm is not cheap to run. Food alone is an average £1,800. With her other outgoings, she needs to make over £3,000 a month just to break even.
Finances are super important, obviously, to be able to continue, but I just have to wait and see. It's that control part of you that wishes that you just knew right now. And I've always been somebody who, as a child, used to drive my mum crazy, because I've always been somebody who, if I didn't think I could succeed, I wouldn't even try, and that would drive my mum crazy. And so as an adult, I've learned to identify that feeling and put it aside, because there's no way you can always know you're going to succeed at everything if you've never done it before. But it always puts me in my uncomfortable place.
Coming up, things get even more uncomfortable as the weather turns.
This is all I earned today. After all I did, £10. That's probably like, what, less than £1 an hour.
And I experience for myself what it's like working outdoors with animals in the middle of winter.
Everyone, bed. Bed. Bedtime, everyone. Bedtime. It's a bit like my children going to bed, reluctant. John O'Groats is the most northerly part of the United Kingdom. We're as high as Norway here. It boasts miles of unspoilt coastline, beautiful beaches and spectacular walks. But with a population of just 300, not many people come here to stay.
Ex-nanny Cara is bucking the trend. She's left her stable life in London to move to the farthest point on the British mainland and start a new job as a farmer without any former experience.
Morning, morning, Bo.
Her first month has been an uphill battle, caring for 50 animals and running a business.
So it's about £52, £53. It's a lot less than I was hoping for.
With disappointing sales coming from her veg shop, Cara needs her new business to generate far more cash. She spots a gap in the market and deploys her nannying skills.
So girls and boys, children, my name is Miss Puffin and this is my farm. From this moment on, anything you touch, don't put your fingers in your mouth because it's gross. And no licking any of the animals, okay?
Offering school trips with herself as tour guide.
That's it, put your hands together like a plate. There you go, you did it.
And she makes a much needed £100.
Thank you guys for coming.
Over the next few days, Cara digs deep, learning on the job. But no matter how hard she works, cash is still in short supply.
My sister said last night, she said, you didn't go up there to burn out. Don't burn out on the good life. And I'm like, oh, it'll all calm down. There are those people who, when you tell them your plan, they're like, you? And other people are like, yeah, you. So who knows if I'm going to be successful in this long term as a whole. You know, in your head, you imagine yourself being capable. Until you test yourself, you never actually know. You know, it's accept the challenge and figure out how to do it afterwards. I am very independent, very strong-minded, but I mean, I'm not a superwoman. That's the reality.
It's the end of a back-breaking day. Cara's sole income is from the self-service shop, and it's been a slow day.
This is all I earned today, after all I did. What's it, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like £10. So it's probably like, what, less than £1 an hour. It's such a strange experience to know that no matter how hard you work, that doesn't correlate with how much money you earn. We had one day where it was super stormy, the weather, it was crazy windy. One person came all day and bought 1 cauliflower and I earned £1 that day. And that's weird, you know, I feel like I've worked hard all day. I go to see what have I earned today, £1? So I was like, yeah, that's weird.
If the farm is going to survive, Cara needs to take every opportunity to make money. She decides to take her produce to the people.
It's the Halloween craft fair, so I'm going to make toffee apples, make some cakes, pies. It costs £5 for the stall. As long as I make £5, I haven't lost any money.
Half an hour in, and Cara has yet to sell a single item.
It's unfortunate that I'm not really in the passing traffic. If I was in the passing traffic, it probably would draw more people. So that'd be £3.50. Perfect. Thank you.
Cara needs to turn over more than £3,000 a month just to break even. But it's been another slow sales day. She's finding that running her own business is a huge test of her strength and stamina.
I need to make money, and I need to make sure I can survive the winter, which this winter will be the hardest because I've got no savings, I've got no pot to draw on.
Her thoughts turn to her mum, who passed away last year.
My mum was an amazingly strong woman for what she achieved in her life. She raised 3 children with her disability and kept us all together as a family when social services wanted to take us away and put her in a home when we were younger, and she fought to keep us together. She also had a strong belief that she installed in us is that we can be anything and do anything we want to do. And I know that she'd be so proud of what I'm doing, and that's great.
The arrival of winter brings a dramatic drop in temperature. Weather conditions in John O'Groats can become savage out of season.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? I know. Yeah, baby.
The change in weather means that life on the farm is even more of a challenge.
Oh no, look! I left this bucket in there last night and the wind has completely smashed it. It's really windy, but that's kind of normal. My Christmas list was thermal socks, thermal tops, a warm dressing gown, lip balm. Hi, babies. Hey, baby chicks. And have no choice. The animals need feeding.
As well as harsh weather, Cara's facing new life and death challenges.
I lost a lot of baby chicks. My super mama hen, all 6 of hers. It was just heartbreaking. You know, as a nanny, I managed to keep all the children alive, thankfully. With the animals, it's a lot more precarious, and also there's always an animal to worry about. Death isn't easy. And people say, oh, you have to toughen up. If you've got livestock, you've got dead stock. And maybe I will toughen up when you spend so much of your life preserving life. You know, so, yeah.
With the responsibility for the animals and the need to make money weighing heavily on Cara's mind, she decides to diversify. She starts making homemade soap.
You see? So yeah, I think it's going to be cool.
And she spends December selling £35 Christmas trees.
So yeah, now I have a little bit more plans. Also kindling, I took 10 bags and I've got 4 left. So different things, yeah. Lots of different opportunities.
The effort pays off. On average, Cara needs to make about £3,300 a month to break even. With all her hard work, she's managed to reach this amount and even make a tiny profit.
That's your daddy. I think of it like family. These are my babies, they've just got more fur on them. Hey, baby. You're my baby. My little baby. 4 months ago, I didn't know anything about this area. I didn't know anything about any of the animals. I didn't know anything about running my own business. It's life-changing, definitely life-changing.
Coming up, I'll be getting stuck in on the farm, meeting the residents.
Hello, Mr. Bingley. Hello.
Woo! As I find out what it takes to do this job.
How much work is there compared to what you thought there was going to be?
A lot. There were times I sat in the barn and cried because I'm like, this is hard, this is really awful. But I think one of the things I've realised is you can't do this job if you don't have positive mental attitude.
It's winter again in John O'Groats.
I can't wait to meet Cara. 3 years on, I wonder whether she's making any money. How are the animals getting on? And what's it like to live in such a remote place?
Hi, Ben.
Cara, how
Hi.
are you?
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. It's an icy cold wind up here
It's
today.
very cold today, very chilly. So come on in and I'll show you around. Somewhere a bit warmer for now.
Look at all this. This is already looking a little bit different.
Yes, I had an artist come and paint the windows for me, the bakery
Yep.
windows, because it was not very pretty inside. So she did some of my farm animals for me. This is Measles.
Oh, hello.
she greets every guest and
Does
makes
she?
when she comes
I like
past.
that.
Yes.
Measles isn't the only new addition to the farm. Cara's keen to show me her new venture, her B&B.
Come on in.
Oh, thank you very much. This is very cosy.
Thank
wow.
you. Nice and warm. Take
So-
your coat off and hang up there.
So where are we now?
So this is the original crofting house.
Yeah.
So guests get to come in and they've got their own private entrance.
I didn't think you were planning on a bed and breakfast here. I thought it was a petting farm.
Yes, well, I hadn't thought about doing this, but the petting farm, after I did a few years, I realised whilst it makes enough money to be able to feed all the animals, keep the lights on, there's not enough money for me to be able to do more, to grow the farm, to pay back the debt from the money I borrowed. So I had to think a little bit more outside the box of what I could do. So I thought, well, this is an opportunity.
Can I have a look around?
Yes. So this is the breakfast room, because obviously in the morning I go out to feed the animals their breakfast. This is set out of the morning for guests to come whenever they want between 7:30 and 10:30 to have their own breakfast.
Because you don't just have animal mouths to feed
No,
now.
that's it, I've got more. So this is room 1,
Yeah.
my donkey room.
Oh, and look at the views that you have.
Yeah, beautiful views over the Orkney Islands.
Very quiet.
Yes.
Do you hear the animals?
You don't. All my roosters are that side.
they? You don't have the cockerels in the morning?
I did have 2 that I relocated to this side for a while, and it was so noisy at 4 in the morning. Because my room is also downstairs, I moved them back. So no, it's very quiet, depending on when people wake up, because obviously when I go to feed the animals in the morning, they do make a bit of noise. They're excited for their breakfast, but no, it's really peaceful here.
It's good to see the B&B has transformed Cara's finances, but it's not lessened her workload on the farm. With the light already fading at 3 p.m, it's time to put the animals to bed. First up, the chickens, and a lesson in biology for me.
They're both roosters, although this one that's coming out was born female, and then she turned male, which can happen in chickens and ducks.
How are your chicken wrangling skills?
Yeah, always when there's people watching, not very good.
It's a bit like my children going to bed.
Yes.
Reluctant. So just talk me through these chickens again. One was born...
She was born female.
Yes.
And then she turned male.
Right.
Much to my upset, because I was hoping for a female. Well, she was a female when I got her. And it can happen if they're dominant enough. I've heard that they can even fertilise eggs. It can be a complete transition. And it can happen with ducks and it can happen with chickens.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
You've taught me something completely new today. You
Yeah,
sure you're not pulling my leg?
No. And so the first time she went cock-a-doodle-doo, I was like, no, because she's called, well, I still call her she sometimes, it's quite hard.
Oh, look, I spot donkeys.
Yes, here my donkey family.
Oh, it's like Christmas away in a manger. Hello, Guy, who have we got?
This is Olive. She was
Hello,
born
Olive.
in 2018. And in fact, I did actually have Carol. I do every year carols in the barn.
Oh, do you?
And it is really, really nice. I've been doing that now for the past couple
Little
of years.
baby Jesus over there.
I wish. But
So is this the feed store?
this is where everything
happens.
stops. So I've got a duck who's decided to sleeping up there for the night.
It is slightly crazy here, isn't it?
Yes.
Is the duck supposed to be up there?
Well, she has chosen for the last few nights that this is the spot.
She is safe from foxes?
Yes, she is safe from foxes, so she's clever. These are Muscovy ducks. Muscovies don't quack. They make a kind of hissing, peeping sound.
So you have a quackless duck
a few quackless ducks.
a chicken that changes sex.
It's all happening here.
So it's amazing. Look at your little Shetlands.
Little miniature Shetlands. They've been here for about a month or so now. They were rehomed here.
Oh, look, they're beautiful. Hello. Hello.
That one's Bailey.
Hello, Bailey.
And then the black one's Pepper.
Hello, Pepper.
Turns white in the summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm just trying to go, I'm keeping up with this. So a quackless duck, a sex-changing chicken, and a colour-changing Shetland.
Yes,
wow.
Exactly. And these guys are eager for some food for their dinner.
And where's it going?
So in that bucket in there, the purple bucket, just pour it on in.
Hey guys, coming through.
And we also need to get Mr. Bingley's pot out.
Oh yes.
So we can prepare his food. Yes, Mr. Bingley's quite famous.
So is he? Hello, Mr. Bingley.
He's actually, people can adopt animals on the farm.
Oh really?
And he's my #1 adopted animal.
Oh really?
Yeah, Mr. Bingley, Jenny the donkey, and Bo my goats. They're my top 3 adopted animals, but he is way ahead of the league.
Hello, Mr. Bingley. Hello. Woo! Hello.
So we're going to give the donkeys some hay.
Yep.
They can munch on that through the night.
How much should we take?
It's in a big roll, so if you peel off a layer.
Yep.
That's it.
That?
Great. Yes, great.
So we just leave that in. Is that all going to be gone in the morning? Right, good night, donkeys. See you in the morning. Everyone, bed. Bed. Bedtime, everyone. Bedtime. That way to bed. They're looking a bit scruffy.
These are Sebastopol geese.
Is that what they're supposed to look like?
Yeah, they have curly feathers. So you know how normally the ridge of a feather spine is rigid?
Yeah.
Theirs is flexible. But we put them in here at night just to keep them safe from the fox.
Yep. Good night.
And we'll close the shop.
Oh, so this is the shop?
This is the shop, so...
What, is there any ends to your talent? So where does all the produce come from? Do you grow it yourself? Do you make it yourself?
The cakes and the pies are all baked at in the bakery in the farmhouse. The candles I make myself. Obviously there's the jam, the coffee.
Are you shopkeeper as well?
Shopkeeper as well. It has an honesty box, so it's mostly self-service.
Yeah. It's
been a very quiet day this time
Midwinter.
of year. Midwinter, this time of year, don't really expect to see very much. And there we go, there's £4, my takings for the day.
How many animals will that feed?
That would feed 5 sheep for the day, maybe. It costs about £7,000 a year to feed all the animals. So it all helps, but...
But presumably this rises quite a lot in the summertime.
Yes, so obviously being seasonal, no matter how amazing I make the petting farm, if weather's awful and it's cold and dark, no one's coming to the farm, and I don't blame them.
You're in semi-hibernation.
I wish I could hibernate more. The animals, people say, oh, you know, did you get Christmas Day off? I'm like, the animals always want to eat and they always poop. So you never get the day off like that, but it can be calmer, less baking, less running around doing all the other things I try to do.
So what do you need to do to close up the shop?
We'll turn the lights off and then just
these ones
the
here?
doors. Yep, that switch there.
With everyone tucked up for the night and only 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm keen to know what Cara does on the long winter evenings.
So come on in.
Oh, hello.
This is Measles.
I saw you through the window. Hello,
yes.
Measles. Hello.
Hey.
Hello, Measles.
Oh, and this is my side of the house.
Nice. So
Thank
kitchen
you.
here.
Kitchen, dining room area, and also I do a lot of my work at the table there.
So obviously I'm getting an insight into what goes into a day. Put all the animals to bed.
Yes.
Are you done now? Can you put your feet up? And,
No, I still have some other jobs I need to do before my day is finished. Ben, why don't you join me over at the table?
Okay.
And
Ooh, look.
a little...
Mini factory line here.
Yes, indeed, a little factory line.
What have we got?
So I have started over the last year or two, 3 new products, 3 new fragrances, but we need to stick the labels on.
Do you trust me?
They have to be straight.
They have to be straight. When you first saw the petting farm on the market and you had this vision,
Yes.
I'm trying to get a sense of how much you knew about small businesses.
Nothing. Before this, as a nanny, you don't even fill in your own tax form as a nanny.
So the business is actually much more complex than many businesses might be, where it's you that stands to go hungry.
That's
Here, you have dozens and dozens of animals. Is that an extra pressure?
There's certainly that great sense of responsibility, but I probably feel the responsibility for my animals more in terms of keeping them safe and healthy. So obviously being able to afford to pay my vet bills, making sure the farm is in good condition, that the roof of the barn isn't going to fly off in a storm. So I definitely am aware of that responsibility I have to them. I've chosen to have them. I've chosen to look after them.
And your business is multifaceted now, because you've got bed and breakfast, you've got craft, you have the little shop, you've got the petting farm. And I'm just trying to imagine what it must have been like, you coming up from London to the most northerly part of the United Kingdom. It's a cold, windy, beautiful, rugged place, on your own, and suddenly taking on all these animals and starting all these businesses. that's quite overwhelming.
It's a lot, yes.
Was there a moment when you got lost in the fog?
There have definitely been moments at the very beginning when I lost an animal or two that I sat at the kitchen table thinking, well, why did I ever think I could do this? Who am I to think I have no knowledge, no experience? And I had a little bit of a crisis of faith in my own self. But what I did with that was I'm very resilient, and I thought, you know, it's true, I don't know anything, but I'm surrounded by farmers, I'm surrounded by people who know way more than me, and I'm not proud. So I went and asked, and I had people come and help me and show me, how do I do this? I've asked questions, and you just learn so much. When Mr. Bingley wasn't very well, when he had been choking on the food.
Mr. Bingley, the pig?
The pig, yes, my boar. And I've talked to people who had old gentleman pigs about what they did.
I love the fact you call him a gentleman.
A gentleman, he's a gentleman. Made him cups of tea to soothe his throat with honey and lemon, and got him back on his feet.
It's a pretty windy, rugged, remote place here. John O'Groats, it's the most northerly part of the United Kingdom, bitter wind coming off the ocean. And here, in the midst of all of that, is this little petting farm. And I think we've all passed places like this, and I've certainly wondered how people make these places work for them. Because it's all very well in the summertime and lots of people are up here, you've got endless daylight, but in the bleak midwinter, when you've got just a couple of hours of light each day, it's cold, there aren't a huge number of tourists, how do you feed all those mouths? How do you sustain yourself? And I think tomorrow I'll get a real insight into the effort that goes into running a place like this.
Coming up, I dig a little deeper to find out if Cara has any regrets.
Has there been a morning where you've had those 40-mile-an-hour winds, rain, gales, and you've just thought, I shouldn't have done this?
There have been times when I'm like, oh, I don't want to go out there.
And I find out if it's all worthwhile.
What advice would you give to other people who want to follow your dream as well?
Go for it, just go for it. You never know what will happen. You may fail, you may succeed, but at least you'll have done it.
It's first light, and I'm sampling Cara's breakfast.
Morning, Ben.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Very well, it's so quiet here.
Did you sleep well?
Very well, I slept very soundly. I've been eyeing up that bread.
Yes, please.
Can I cut into it?
Yes, do. Have a
homemade?
Slice. Homemade bread, freshly baked.
Love that.
And you're happy to come out and help me feed all the animals this morning?
Delighted.
Great.
Am I allowed to have my slice of bread first?
Do, yes. Make sure you put something inside yourself so you've got enough energy.
Fed and watered, we get cracking.
Great. So let's feed the animals this morning. Come on, Measles.
So who have we got in? Oh, yes, the geese.
The geese. We're going to put them back out in the field.
OK. Shall I go and open their
Yeah,
gate?
go open the gate.
Oh. This way, guys. Everyone seems to know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're pretty well trained.
Yeah. Oh, hello, good morning. Good morning. Just pour it, just in
Yeah, just anywhere is fine. They'll chomp away and find all the bits.
Right, so I've got the goats.
You've got the goats.
Does this go down?
Yeah, you can put it in their purple bucket.
Purple bucket,
And this I'll give to Mr. Bingley.
Okay, so we have fed Mr. Bingley,
Yes.
watered the goats, watered the donkeys. What
Yes.
else? What else needs to be done?
So we're going to do the rest of the goats.
Yes.
Then the sheep will come out into the courtyard, and they will have their breakfast, and the miniature Shetland ponies will have theirs.
Good morning.
Guys.
Morning, everyone. Morning. There you go.
You're spelling out your name.
Yeah, I'm just making a pretty pattern.
So for the rabbits,
Yes.
we're going to pour scoops just along the edge here. One scoop just there.
Here you go, guys.
That's it. Great.
They're very hairy.
These ones that are fluffy are
Yeah.
lion head rabbits.
Perfectly acclimatised
Yes.
to John O'Groats.
So this is Rose and Thistle. Rose
Yep.
is the girl and Thistle's the boy.
Yep.
And what you're going to do is just launch the food over there.
Just throw it in.
Just throw it in. And they
There
will
you go, guys.
root around for it. And Thistle later is going to get more food because he's been quite thin.
Yeah.
I've wormed him. I've been talking to my vet, just trying to see if I can put weight on him.
Presumably vets' fees are one of your big outgoing costs.
It can be. Obviously, a lot of animals, the chance of one animal being sick is higher. A couple of years ago, when Jenny gave birth to her, the donkey that's there now, she developed a hernia just before she gave birth. What was amazing was I did a shout out on Facebook because I just couldn't afford to pay it. And within an hour, I had almost half of the money, and by the next morning, I had more than enough. The local community, but also the online community is amazing. And that's one of the things that, you know, even though I run this business by myself, I so don't feel alone, and I really feel supported and just really blessed by how people love my animals.
How would you describe what you are now? Are you a hotelier, a bed and breakfast owner? Are you a farmer? Are you a smallholder?
On my insurance, for the liability insurance, it says farmer, stallholder, beekeeper. And I do feel like really I'm just somebody who is, first of all, living my dream, doing what I always wanted to do, which I discovered does not mean easy. I've never worked harder in my life, but also never been more satisfied in my life.
She says she is living her dream, but it isn't easy. And there's a great honesty in that. I think a lot of people think that dreams equal an easier life. And maybe for some people, their dream is just to lie on a beach and do absolutely nothing. But for other people, like Cara, who wanted to work with animals, to live with animals, that is the dream, but with it comes a lot of mouths to feed, a lot of mucking out, and the reality of living up in a pretty cold, stormy part of the world.
Push.
All the way over?
Yeah, all the way. Super. There we go, that's good.
Is that good there?
That'll be good. I can then get it all off. Thank you.
No worries. How much work is there compared to what you thought there was going to be?
A lot, but it's great. It's really good for the soul, I think. And it's, you know, apart from, we did have one winter, I think it was my second winter here, where every day, 40-mile-an-hour winds, rain, and it was relentless. And there were times I sat in the barn and cried because I'm like, this is hard, this is really awful. But thankfully, it's not like that. We obviously have crazy weather up here, but it doesn't last for a long time. And then you have I remember the first time I was walking measles, when it was a beautiful day, and I cried again, because I'm like, it's so nice. This is what it's supposed to be like. But I think one of the things I've realised is you can't do this job if you don't have positive mental attitude.
Has there been a morning where you've had those 40-mile-an-hour winds, rain, gales, and you've just thought, I shouldn't have done this?
There've been times when I'm like, oh, I don't want to go out there. But you know what? It's just outside my back door. I can get soaking wet and go in and get changed. And now I have heating. I can be warm when I go in as well. So nothing a hot cup of tea doesn't fix when you've been out in the wild and you know you've done a good job and you know that all the animals, I have to do it because I remember when I was in my previous life at night when the storm is raging and that wonderful cozy feeling you have inside where you're all snug and warm. Now I'm worried. I'm like, oh, my animal's okay. So that sense of responsibility. So I've never had a time where I felt, forget it. I've always been like, they didn't ask for me to have them. I chose to have them, so therefore that's my responsibility. And I'm going to look after them, much in the same way as I had the same sense of responsibility as a nanny with the children. I'm like, this is my job, I'm going to do the best, because they are the innocents, and they rely on me to, you know, to look after them. And that's really, I have that strong feeling. I get quite emotional about that, so yeah.
I'm beginning to understand what Cara thinks about this place. What I'd really like to know is what the locals think of her venture.
Are you guys regular visitors? Are you...
We just live in Cara's. It's about 3 miles just on your doorstep, really, isn't it? Something to do in the summer.
And I imagine a great place to come with the kids, especially on a cold winter's day.
Yeah.
As locals, what generally does the local community make of Cara taking over the petting farm here?
Everybody has a positive about it, yeah. I
She's done a lot of work as well.
Yeah, and it's something that, like, from wider Caithness, a lot of people come here a lot.
So you guys have a good insight into how much work Cara then has to do, working outdoors, feeding all these animals.
And on her own.
Do you think, do you think, is she brave? Is she foolish? Is she inspirational? What word would you use?
Amazing, I would say.
I would say brave as well, yeah. To come up here on her own and do this, yeah.
Would either of you take over something like this?
Definitely not. No way.
Let other people like Cara do the hard work and you just come and enjoy the fruits of her labour.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Well, it looks like the Rabbit Town is a great success with Jack over there.
Yeah, this is Jack's favourite bit, I think.
Is it? Well, listen, I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you so much. Enjoy your time.
Thank you.
It's not just the animals that drew Cara to this wild and exhilarating place. She offers to take me to one of her favourite spots.
Wow, look at this. This is incredible. You don't get this in London, or you didn't have this in London.
No, you had to travel a fair ways. No, this is Dunnet Beach, and it's certainly one of the most beautiful beaches we have up here.
Do you enjoy coming out for walks like this?
It's really nice. It's a chance to just relax. It's just a minute of downtime for me amongst all the other things I'm doing.
If someone came along and said, Cara, you can go back to your old life, you can go back to being a nanny, go back down south, would you take that opportunity?
No, I wouldn't take that. I do recognise that the life I'm living is not something I can do when I'm 70, 80, 90, but definitely I wouldn't go back to nannying.
There'll be a lot of people who will see your journey. They've dreamed of their own small businesses themselves. What advice would you give to other people who want to follow your dream as well?
I do believe that we live in a world that is often too afraid to make the next step. And I would say, just do it, go for it, jump in. I'm a big believer, you know, we have all these sayings, oh, look before you leap, count your eggs, don't put them all in one basket. I'm like, leap, put all your eggs, because that's living, that's really life, taking the risks. I always felt that if I do it and I fail, at least I've tried, at least I've given it a go, and I won't live my life regretting not having gone for it. And when my mum passed away, that was really the thing that changed me, thinking life is short, life is precious, pursue your dreams, do the thing that you want to do, because otherwise you won't have done it. You'll have your life will be gone. Time is so short. So I would just encourage anyone who has a dream, go for it, just go for it. You never know what will happen. You may fail, you may succeed, but at least you'll have done it.
It's quite a thing that Cara has taken on here. And when you look back at what she's achieved over the last 3 years, it's pretty extraordinary, because there's a lot of mouths to feed here. She's got financial burdens, she's on her own, and yet she has taken life by the goat horns, and she has seized it, and she has pursued her dream. Thank you so much, Cara. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks for all your help.
My pleasure.
And coming to my farm.
Look after yourself.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure I'll be back here with the kids.
Great, do. Come visit.
Okay, bye.
Take care.
Next time, I'm in the Malvern Hills to find out how a couple left successful jobs.
We didn't used to get views like that, did we, in London?
And followed their dream of leaving behind the city.
You've got to do what you've got to do.
To build their own brewery in an old chicken shed.
This is our brewery that I'm going to have to be able to operate, so... Ooh.
And I find out 3 years on if their countryside dream is all they hoped for.
This is not a bad place to be able to come with the children after school, even in the midwinter. It's incredible.